Birmingham, Alabama. Facing voters at last after the year's most bitter U.S. campaign, Alabama Republican Roy Moore cast himself Monday as the victim of a national barrage of unjust allegations of sexual misconduct with teenagers. Rival Doug Jones, hoping to become the state's first Democratic senator in 2 decades, declared their race was Alabama's referendum on who we are and what we're going to tell our daughters. Allegations aside, President Trump said in a robocall to Alabama voters that he badly needs Moore's own vote in the U.S. Senate. Former President Obama and his Vice President, Joe Biden, recorded calls for Jones seeking to break the GOP's lock on statewide office in Alabama. How to watch Alabama's special election in audio of the robocall obtained by CBS News on Sunday. Mr. Trump tells Alabama voters we're already making America great again, but that Republicans need the seat Moore is vying for, the same seat left vacant by Mr. Trump's current Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Polls indicate uncertainty in Alabama Senate race. The recording comes as after Mr. Trump had thrown his full support behind Moore despite numerous allegations against Moore of sexual misconduct. Moore has been accused of sexual misconduct with teenage girls when he was in his 30s. The president has since insisted the country can't afford to have a Democrat in the Senate. Whether the calls would sway anyone so late in such a highly publicized campaign was an open question. So was the impact of a rash of false news stories that have appeared on social media spreading misinformation. One website wrongly claimed that one of the women who have accused Moore of sexual misconduct had recanted. Meanwhile, Moore's detractors took to social media to claim he had written in a 2011 textbook that women shouldn't hold elected office. He did an apostrophe T. On election eve, Moore called into a conservative talk radio show in Alabama to lament the tone of the campaign and portray himself as a victim of the sexual misconduct allegations. "We've seen things happen in this campaign that I can't believe to this day," said Moore, who has denied all wrongdoing in contacts with a woman who said he behaved inappropriately when they were in their teens and he was a local prosecutor in his 30s. One said he initiated sexual contact when she was 14. "It's just been a hard campaign," said Moore, a former Alabama Supreme Court Chief Justice who was twice removed from that post for violating judicial ethics. At an evening rally in the state's rural southeast, Moore told voters, "If you don't believe in my character, don't vote for me." Former White House strategist Steve Bannon, who also spoke to Moore rally, argued that the election is greater than Judge Moore and even greater than the people of Alabama, casting it as a referendum on Trump's agenda. Meanwhile, Moore's wife, Kayla, stirred up another ruckus while defending him against claims of being anti-Semitic. "Well, one of our attorneys is a Jew," she said. "We have very close friends who are Jewish and rabbis." Republican candidate for U.S. Senate Judge Roy Moore speaks during a campaign rally in Midland City, Alabama, on Monday, December 11, 2017. Reuters. Alabama has been a solidly Republican state for years, and Moore said he is much more in tune with the issues that matter to voters, and to the president. Jones acknowledged Monday in Montgomery, "Look, I'm not going to be the senator that everybody in the state can agree with 100% of the time." But he added, "They'll know I'm somebody that will sit down with them. I will learn from them. I will try to be the public servant I think a U.S. senator ought to be." Former professional basketball star Charles Barkley, speaking at a Jones rally Monday night, urged voters not to embarrass his home state by electing Moore. "I love Alabama, but at some point we've got to draw a line in the sand and say, we're not a bunch of them idiots," Barkley said. Former NBA basketball player Charles Barkley seen at the Doug Jones rally. Reuters. Following Barkley's remarks, Jones urged Alabama voters to say, "Enough is enough." Voters seemed as divided as ever, including young Alabamians, some going to the polls for the first time. Lillian Wolf, 18, a University of Alabama freshman, said she was disgusted that some people would vote for Moore despite the allegations by multiple women. "It creeps me out," she said. "It shocks me just how much people are willing to ignore a person's past just because of their political stance." But Joseph Chestnut, 20, a junior, said he will be voting for Moore, who holds more Republican values. Just his Christianity standpoint and his Second Amendment standpoint, and just, trying to fight the establishment up there. For Alabama Democrats, the special election is viewed as a chance to renounce a history littered with politicians whose race-baiting, bombast and other baggage have long soiled the state's reputation. Many Republicans see the vote as an opportunity to ratify their conservative views, referred to by Moore as Alabama values, and protect Trump's agenda ahead of the 2018 midterm elections. But the sexual allegations have dented some of that support. Senator Richard Shelby said, "I think the Republican Party can do better," and he wrote in another Republican's name. Democratic Alabama U.S. Senate candidate Doug Jones speaks to his supporters during a rally at Old Car Heaven in Birmingham, Alabama, on Monday, December 11, 2017. Reuters. The two candidates have taken very different approaches to campaigning, with Jones holding events regularly and Moore popping up only occasionally in small churches, rallies or in interviews with friendly media. In a morning stop at a diner in Birmingham, Jones accused Moore of disappearing during the campaign's closing days and claimed the Republican wasn't even in Alabama over the weekend. "We're making sure our message is getting across while Roy Moore hides behind whoever he's hiding behind," said Jones. Moore has made only a few public appearances since women came forward to accuse him of sexual misconduct years ago. Moore, the former judge, has spent 2 decades advocating conservative Christian positions. Jones is a former federal prosecutor best known for prosecuting 2 Ku Klux Klansmen responsible for killing 4 black girls in a 1963 church bombing. The winner will take the seat held previously by Trump's Attorney General, Jeff Sessions. Republicans control the Senate with 52 seats. Democrats don't hold a single statewide office in Alabama, and both houses of the legislature are controlled by the GOP. Polls in Alabama open at 8 a.m. ET, 7 a.m. court, Tuesday and close at 8 p.m. ET, or 7 p.m. court. CBSN will have live coverage of Tuesday's special Senate election in Alabama. The first exit polls will start coming in during the 5 p.m. hour ET. CBSN live coverage will begin at 6 p.m. and continue until a winner is declared. A special edition of CBSN's Red and Blue will air at 9 p.m. ET.